because that was the conversation that I knew we had to get to. When I knew that I was going to sit down with him and talk about what he wanted to talk about, I also knew that there was no way I could sit there and not ask questions about the things that I've been bothered by. One of the things I'll be very clear about, there's videos out there of me criticizing Kanye. You can pull them up because I've said these things to him directly, right? One of the things that he did is, there was the moment where he was at TMZ Live, and he had this moment where they had a back and forth about certain topics. And then that led into him wearing the red hat and his relationship with Trump. I've never shared until this interview the conversation that took place between Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Kris Jenner, Cardi B, and myself around his wearing the red hat. But in the interview, I had to ask him about it. And this was the conversation. Take a look.
Did you ever reconcile why people were upset about you wearing the hat, though? Because I mean, honestly, like I mean, not to get too deep into politics, I look at like all the conversation, even that Joe Biden was having with Charlemagne, saying that if you vote Republican, you ain't black. But then now that they're in office, I really don't see the policies being passed to benefit the people that you were going out fighting for. So I get it. I understand, the frustration or the guilt in the games that people play. But I always wondered if you reconcile why people were feeling the way they were feeling about you wearing the hat.
Yeah, you know what? I will say I take responsibility for the fact that it hurt their feelings, that it hurt people's feelings, And I also say, I believe now that people, not just black people, just across the board, they're realizing like, yo, you have to let Ye be Ye. You gotta push it. Like me and Drake was gonna wear Virgil Jordans at the show, and we had them. We was backstage, and when I put them on, I just didn't look like Ye. I look more like Ye with these boots. I got this line on the song with Game where I say I wear these boots even in the shower.
Yeah.
Like, because how can something change if we're in group think? There's gonna be someone who doesn't take the program. And so I take accountability for when I've been ramped up and not had the right mood and attitude, but it was necessary for me to not take the programming and then to not, take the bullying and the manipulation. They want all celebrities in a position, basketball players, rappers, have to say, yo, we're voting in the same party as the media controlled party, which is the Democrats. The majority of people who own the media are aligned with the Democrats. So if you don't align with them, they literally is like, yo, your career is gonna be over. That was really the biggest reason why I went to the hospital. Every day, imagine everyone in your life telling you your career is gonna be over if you don't vote for Hillary Clinton. Why am I gonna vote for Hillary Clinton? I don't have no connection, to this person. Why do you have to defend your right? Why do you have to defend your right? What little rights we got? We got like 13th Amendment in the Constitution. They got literal amendments only based on aimed at black people to lock us up. But then we're defending the rights that we fought for. What's the point of fighting and winning to vote if you got to defend who you gonna vote on? Like I always had a difference of opinion to everyone in grammar school, everyone in high school. And I think, a lot of times I'm ahead of my time, 10 years ahead of my time, 20 years ahead of my time. And as a leader and a visionary, I got to take a responsibility to be able to communicate to the people who follow me, where are we going, Ye? Where is this going? And there was a blurry time where people are just feeling lost. They didn't know where they was going. Even for Kim, she's like, where are you going? Where are you going? I know how to get there. I know what this is. I've been going here my whole life. You're talking about building sustainable communities and all that and how this is going to be, better. And people just don't understand sometimes where I'm headed. I have to take that responsibility as a visionary to move just a little bit slower, stop, explain, where we're going. And I feel that there's a lot more people along for the ride now, because I am a future president. It might not be 2-3 years from now. I might not, but ain't never been a situation I went in that I didn't make it better. I'm an industrialist.
Now, is there a problem with Kanye West having the confidence of being a future president and the idea that maybe he needs to slow down so people could understand what he's saying?
Ooh.
So much happened in that clip, and one of the things that we say often on the show is that two truths can coexist. And so, what was really, really glaring to me is Kanye makes sense sometimes. Nobody's wrong all the time, right? So, on one hand, we're mad at this man who is fallible, vainglorious, larger than life, unpredictable, X, Y, and Z. And so, a lot of us are cautious around him, and we have good reason. But the other truth that's coexisting is our anger towards Kanye is being weaponized against us. They're using our anger to get us not to listen to him when he is making sense. And so that's what I'm scared about. One of the things I wrote in the article was, who does it really serve to separate Kanye West from the Black community? Who does it really serve to separate a billionaire who loves his people but who is fallible from the very people that he looks like and he can help? So I really, really feel like there's some powers at play here. So yes, Kanye has created his own bed, but there are a lot of people in power who are using those mistakes that he's made to stop him from being able to help the very people who need his help. And so that's why I'm nervous about us throwing him away, because the gag is, if God forbid something happened to Kanye West tomorrow, you'd all be posting his picture on Instagram talking about RIP, you were a genius. You would all be doing that tomorrow if something happened to him. So let's not throw him away. I'm not convinced we should throw him away yet.
Yeah, and I think Jason, what you did is what we needed to do, and what we need to continue to do is try to understand him. Now, I don't agree with a lot of things he says, but I do
Mm.
agree with what he's trying to do when he's trying to build sustainable communities. His ideas for orphanages, so women don't have to feel the pressure of abortion; that there's somewhere for those children to go. So there's a lot of beautiful things about Kanye, and he's polarizing, just like most people are. There's good and there's bad with everybody, but I think him able to have a platform that's for him and that's for us, our community, is really important. So, like I said, I can't agree with everything Kanye says, but I don't agree with everything you say, Jason. And that's just how life is. But we can come together and we can coexist. I'm just saying, look, we all have our own opinions.
And we
You know what
hold
I mean?
you accountable, Jason, just the way we're going to hold Kanye accountable.
I
We
have
all have our own
I
opinions,
have
but that's what family's about. Is to be able to sit at the same table, go through our disagreements, see each other's opinions, and work together to a bigger
Okay,
cause.
yeah, a little long-winded for me. I want to go back to the part to where you said whatever you said about not believing everything I said or whatever you said. I have always gotten it right. But that's the point. I think the point that you're making, damage, is the same thing that I've said, like cancel culture. And I talked to Kanye, and let me tell you something. Kanye has been on the receiving end of cancel culture for so many years. And so when I asked him what he thought about cancel culture, he had a lot to say. This is what he said.
So about last night. Okay, so did we close the lid?
Yo, you know that'd be a fire thing if we had like a thing we did every week or every couple weeks, and it was just called "So About Last Night." Like to kind of just put some
Listen,
context.
Anything you want, we can do it.
Yeah.
I've always said I'm not a fan of cancel culture because they've tried to cancel me. Thank God I own myself.
Cancel culture, bro. This is from the main person that's been canceled that will not be canceled. Period, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let me tell you something. Obviously, as a celebrity, there's a lot of people that are around me that can influence me, and no human being is immune to their surroundings. There's a lot of people around Kim that can influence her. As she's making certain decisions, she's just looking for safety and a safe place to be, because I do these ideas where, like, man, if I'm the only person that's not with Hillary, then she's getting like attacked so much, telling me can't wear the hat. And she just, as a woman, women just want security and comfort. But what she'd ultimately like is just her husband, but for her husband to play the role of what's happening in Hollywood already. Mm-hmm. But that's not the case. Mm-hmm. You got Ye, and I'm here to improve on the situation. Everybody's still going to eat. It's cool, but I just need to explain to people just really clearly. The way people look at, like, say we got big corporations, they look at superstars like, let me see how I'm going to use your influence to get my agenda across. Mm-hmm. on
Do you feel like you were used?
Yeah, but my grandfather said, make yourself useful. You can't be used useless. And this is what, if you're not living in California unless you're presenting yourself to be of use. When someone like gives their demo, gives their resume, they say like, I can be of use to you. So then you could be used. Was I misused? It's like, maybe so. I'm sitting here with the Balenciaga jacket on right now, so it's okay.
I mean, that's the thing. I know there have been times that I have felt guilted into hating Kanye West. And I think that when you start to back up from it all a little bit and start to think for yourself, why can't we just agree to like somebody when we like them, not like what they do when we don't, and move on and allow the next day to be another day, another new day.
And also, too, when somebody that you care about says something that's dangerous, because there have been times where I've had to write op-eds about Kanye that were not complimentary. You guys can Google them. I always said, who is in his camp? Who are his friends, right? Because whenever someone is saying something like that in an echo chamber and nobody's checking them, I get concerned about their ecosystem. And so, who better than a brother to check you? And the way that he was sitting with you, it was like two brothers at like happy hour having a conversation. And I think when we take away someone's humanity and we take away their dignity, we take away all incentive for them to listen to reason. So if you think Kanye has said things that were dangerous in the past or reckless in the past, us making him feel vilified is not going to make him listen to us. I'm not saying pandering to him, but you can't dehumanize folks every time they mess up. On his worst day, Kanye West is still a human being. And even the article I wrote and even the conversation you had with him, Jason, was not about agreeing with him. It was about humanizing him. He's still a human being. Black people should be allowed to make mistakes the same white folks do every day and still be allowed to be loved by their community.